r/AskReddit.
What's the creepiest / most unexplained thing you've seen in broad daylight?
A response to the post.
I used to live on a farm and one morning there was a full horse leg on our driveway. Like still had part of the hip attached and was fresh. We sprinted down to our horse paddock to find all our horses completely fine. We disposed of the leg and never got an explanation. Very creepy. Peas. This happened in Canberra, Australia, so there's no mountain lions or bears around here.
A response to this comment.
One of those huntsman spiders you got over there probably did it.
A response to the post.
While this can be explained, the image still creeps me out to this day. It was around the time of planking craze. I had no idea what it was and hadn't heard anything about it. Got a taxi into town and was walking around the city center and life was normal. I then take a turn into the town square and there was around 200 people planking everywhere on everything. I don't know what was going on. I thought there may have been gunshots or a bomb. Or maybe the world was ending. I then asked someone next to me and they explained it and we laughed it off, but for that brief moment of time I'll never forget that uneasy feeling.
A response to this comment.
The fact that the planking era and flashmob era overlapped is vastly underappreciated.
A response to the post.
A man with freshly exposed bone on his arm and missing a substantial amount of skin and muscle walked up to me in a parking lot asking me calmly for cigarettes. It really freaked me out, and told him I was calling 911 for him. He immediately ran off and I gave his description to 911. There wasn't much blood, but the guy clearly needed immediate medical attention. This was in San Jose on an afternoon about 5 to 6 years ago. Still have that image giving me nightmares to this day.
A response to this comment.
There's a homeless guy that gets sent quite regularly to a hospital in Dallas. Dude has nothing other than bones from calves down. Just skeleton feet. What happened was when the freeze hit a year or so ago, frostbite started taking everything away. He won't let doctors remove them because the local kids pay him like $10 to see it. The smell is so bad the nurses and doctors, from a level 1 trauma center, will gag, puke, even cry because of how awful that stench is. Nothing comes close to describing it.
A response to the post.
Crossing at a busy intersection and seeing my perfect double walk towards me. We basically eyes locked until we passed each other. A total mindfuck. Even more disturbing. Instead of stopping and chatting and being amused by the entire biological coincidence, my immediate subconscious reaction was a massive rising internal rage that someone somehow had stolen my face. Very, very weird.
A response to this comment.
Man, I would love to come across my doppelganger. Weird but neat.
A response to the post.
Creepy but explainable. My dad is a paramedic, and one call took him to an SUV that had driven into the river and was being towed out. The car was obviously not working and the two guys inside had already passed away. As they're pulling the dead guys out of the car, suddenly all the lights flash on, the windshield wipers start going on full speed, and the car starts blaring the radio at max volume. Freaked everyone right out.
A response to this comment.
My grandpa was a Mountie in Canada, mounted police, and he came across a car that had just crashed and been almost completely submerged in a lake. He rushed over and reached into the open window to see if somebody was inside, and his hand squished into a mass of warm squishy guts. Turns out the person was carrying giant containers of cottage cheese that had spilled, and the driver had left a few minutes prior. He couldn't eat cottage cheese for the next 60 years of his life.
A response to the post.
An older man watching me at a gas station and then literally following me for miles around town. Like if I turned into a parking lot and started driving another road, he still followed me. I got on a 4-lane road in the left lane and got beside someone, then sped up and merged while taking an exit, so the guy was blocked by the pickup truck in the right lane. That's probably the scariest thing I've ever had happen in broad daylight.
A response to this comment.
You did exactly right. If it ever happens and you can't shake them, call the police and let them know you're being tailed. They'll either have you pull into a parking lot with a cop already there, or drive right to the police station.